Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and I am joined once again by the lovely Arekkz. Say hello!
Hello! How's it going?
I was very careful there not to say hello, Arekkz, because I know what you like.
You've learned. I
have. And Arekkz has joined me once again over on Nintendo Life here that you are currently listening to, well, I suppose watching, because it's going to be a video, because we are going to be discussing the Nintendo Switch. I had to be very careful there to consciously not say Nintendo NX.
I'm so excited.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it? Just look at it.
I've actually got a picture in front right now, and I'm just like, this looks amazing. Can I please have it now?
You know what? I should probably have a picture open as well so I can just look at it. Oh, there it is. It's slightly out of focus in this particular shot from the trailer, but I'll forgive it for now. So, we've had a previous video about, well, what was then the Nintendo NX, and we had our own design ideas, and
we weren't that far off, you know.
We weren't that far off, but we were basing it on a rather large rumour come leak that was
true.
That was already pretty well established by Eurogamer.
But they did have that, but what they didn't have in that rumor was the layout of the pads. You know how that we were going through that problem solving thing of how do you have it as a standalone controller? We cracked that ourselves, so I think we did quite well. I actually put it on the picture yesterday.
No. I agree. We still did well, but I do sort of think that.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Clearly, the angle that they're going for here is that the sort of the two mini Joy-Cons, they've called them. The Joy-Cons, when you use them as individual controllers, it's much more for sort of relaxed gameplay, you know, sort of a bit of Mario Kart on the bus or something like that. It's not for playing Splatoon, which we'll come on to later.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah, and I think it suits it, right? It's you know, you're not gonna realistically, because I mean, you know, as we saw in the trailer as well, you can also do multiplayer through using the Pro Controller, you know, multiple systems. So if you are gonna do serious multiplayer for that stuff, then obviously there's the option. But yeah, for those pads, I think it's gonna be great for the like casual audience anyway. But obviously, you know, there's still potential.
Yes, and I assume they don't show it in the trailer, but I assume if you dock the main unit and then remove the Joy-Cons, you can still use that for the multiplayer. So, you know, if you've got if you've got a load of people come around, you know, sort of you've only got that controller, the standard one, and one Pro Controller, and you've got two friends coming around, don't worry, because you've got the two Joy-Cons.
Yes, that is true. That is very true.
As long as it's not too complicated and it requires no more than 6 buttons, because it's interesting to see that we were right about the shoulder buttons inside the hidden shoulder buttons. Yeah,
that's a really clever design, actually. I mean, because
it's very subtle. You can see it in a couple of shots.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, just like looking at how like it just assembles together. It doesn't look because there was obviously the fear that having this whole, you know, like multiple controllers, is it going to be like a really clunky device? Because, you know, let's be honest. I mean, like I like the Wii U, but it's not. I've never been a huge fan of the Wii U gamepad. But this just looks so good. It's like it's a really nice product.
It does look like a nice premium thing, but it's not. I don't think it's going too far down that road. It's not trying to be, you know, sort of super sleek iPhone made of metal and, you know.
No.
God's tears and, you know, milk from the udders of a gigantic space cow. It's, you know, just to pull a few iPhone materials off the top of my head. It's, you know, it's got that sort of, that lovely matte finish that you can see there. It's not glossy. It's not glossy!
Yes, thank God. Thank you so much.
Oh, God, I'm so pleased it's not glossy. Because, I mean, okay, glossy stuff, it looks good, but it is an absolute arse to work with.
I've always been a matte fan. One of the things I was also just like super excited. It's completely, you know, it's completely not important. But as someone that likes to like customize, just when they start releasing multiple colored Joy-Con controllers, it's going to be easy to customize the way your thing looks. I mean, just slide a red and a green one on. You've got your Mario and Luigi Joy-Cons. And I mean, it's just going to be like nice to customize as well.
I agree. In fact, I saw an image that somebody had just mocked up on Twitter, and it was actually Joy-Cons styled after GameCube controllers.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Really cool. And like with like the Yoko Watch one as well, right? And stuff like that. Did you see that?
I didn't see that one, no. But if you've got a link, I'd love to slap it into the video.
Yeah, I would definitely send you a link. Basically, someone came up with this interesting idea where maybe the right side of the you could basically release special Joy-Cons that go with particular games. So, for example, in the context of say Yokai Watch, it doesn't look like the normal Joy-Con. It's got like that spinner. You know the spinner you see in Yokai, and it's got like basically it changes what the right Joy-Con would do. So, and it would lend itself to that game.
Well, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure, you know, they will release a Joy-Con that doesn't have, because I mean they've got the buttons instead of a D-pad, which I'm sure is going to be fine. I mean, you've got the proper D-pad on the Pro Controller. I wouldn't be surprised if they released a Joy-Con that had a proper D-pad.
Yes, no, I completely agree, yeah, for sure. Although, another thing I was super happy about, because this was one of the things we had to worry about before, thank God there are proper analog sticks on the Joy-Cons. I was worried because of the portability, they were going to go down the 3DS slide pad.
Yeah.
And I am so happy when I saw that. I was like, yes, thank you, Nintendo. You know what you're doing.
I mean, you know, sort of the circle pads they're fine.
They're
but
fine
for
extended
3DS, periods of play, you know, and I'm going to say it, Monster Hunter Switch.
Yes, it has to happen. Like it's a no-brainer, right?
It's going to happen, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically it makes the whole what they did in 3U with the whole like 3DS transfer to the Wii U. It's there already in one device. I mean, it just makes perfect sense, and also it just means that hopefully for us as well as content creators, that docking unit better have an HDMI. It probably is like 99% sure it is an HDMI, so it's going to be a lot easier to record video footage than having to have some, you know, clunky device or a shady modified one.
Well, what else is it? What else is it going to output?
Oh well, unless they have like some kind of exactly. Maybe
you're going to have to buy a special TV to play it on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, but exactly that's the thing. So I'm so happy about that because you know recording portable games on the 3DS is not the most easy thing in the world.
It's not because, well, more than anything, you're just tethered down. Incidentally, I want to bring up: have you seen the extra button
on the left-hand side?
On the left-hand side, yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether that's going to be a share button.
That's what I think it's going to be as well. Either that or you know, sort of maybe plus or minuses, you know, or you press the two at the same time or something like that, or you tap and hold the home button, something like that. Because we've had a share button idea, you know, sort of kicking around as a rumor for a long time now, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it did come to fruition. But by the same token, a lot of people have just said could be a power button, and they might be onto something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it definitely does look like it could be that. But no, I agree. I mean, I think they're in that age, right? I mean, they've got, although, you know, I don't use them much. I'm much more of a Twitter person. They do have Miiverse, right? So it makes sense to, you know, assuming Miiverse will exist in Switch, then, you know, it'd be an instant, like, press this button, share straight to Miiverse could be, like, a really cool thing. I'm hoping they do have a wider social integration and they don't just try and keep it in their tightly sort of, like, parentally controlled ecosystem. But the point is, yeah, a share button would be really, really cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, given the approach that Nintendo has had with especially the third-party developers, because we've seen what they've got this infographic out, which is called a sampling of their third-party devs.
Yeah, 48 on there so far, isn't it? That's impressive.
Is it 48? Wow.
Yeah, 48. It's a very and you know there are some big names as well. I mean, it's not just like you know here are some developers, but they're actually really obscure like indie developers you might not have heard of. It's actually like I know, but you know that's not a slight on indie developers by the way. It's just
no, I know, but yeah.
But it's but I mean, you know there are names like Activision in there. You know you've got Konami. You've got although Konami's a bit shady right now, but you've got Konami. You've got Ubisoft. You know you've got some really good backers there. And I mean like it's definitely going to be. I mean while it might not necessarily be the same power as, say, PS4 or Xbox One, it's still going to have some really, really good titles on there. And I think that's super important, right? That's what the Wii U was lacking. And, you know, as great as Nintendo first-party games are, I mean, their first-party games are incredible. They always have been, always will be. They can't run a console solely on first-party because they can't keep up with the demand, right? So this is going to be... No. Yeah, this is going to be amazing. So yeah, they're definitely. It seems like they're lining up a lot of things correctly this time. You know, getting it out of the park. I mean, hoping that I really hope it sticks to it. But you know, it sounds like they've got a strong. Well, we obviously don't know what their launch lineup is at the moment, but having Breath of the Wild rumored to be a launch title, I mean, that's already a very strong.
No, that's proper official.
Okay, cool. Well, there you go then. Yeah. I mean, because that's one of the things that you know. I mean, every console. Has this trouble, right? They release it, maybe they have one killer title, but aside from that, once you bought your brand new console and you've done that one game, you're like, right, what do I play now for the next 6 months kind of thing. So yeah, it seems like they're trying to line everything up really nicely. Yeah,
I would definitely go with that. It's also really this is just going on rumor and hearsay and stuff like that, but to do with the Mario game, apparently, and this is only a rumor, but apparently the reason that they held off, because apparently this video was supposed to go out in September, the reason they held off was because the Mario game wasn't functioning absolutely perfectly, to quote the rumor source.
Right.
So that suggests it's going to be launched.
That it's now running perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be incredible. I mean, that's one of the things as well. I mean, I know we've had some slight sort of 3D versions, but we haven't really had a Galaxy Sunshine 64-esque Mario for quite some time. So I mean, just from those two small gameplay snippets, it was just it just looks really, really good. I'm like, I need that game. It
is, and there's one killer reason why it's definitely not 3D World or anything like that. I don't know whether you noticed, but Mario does a triple jump.
Oh, yes,
he has only ever done that in Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Galaxy 1 and 2. I'm sure someone down in the comments will let me know, oh no, he's done it, and I'm talking explicitly 3D games, because I know he's done it in 2D games, but explicitly, sort of, for all intents and purposes, those are the only games that Mario has done the triple jump. He's never been able to do it in the other games, because he's not really had any need to, and you just need to look at the camera angle.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, exactly. It just, it's going to be... Oh, if they launch with, that Zelda, Mario Kart, it's going to be so strong.
It is, yeah, and especially, that Skyrim...
Oh, yeah. I mean, someone in my comments raised an interesting point the other day. They were like, oh, everyone's getting excited for Skyrim. I've been playing this game for years. It's a fair point, yeah. But still, Skyrim Skyrim itself is a really big game. To have that on a Nintendo console, you never would have had that in the past. Alone is a testament. But also, it just goes to show that the kind of breadth of the games that they're going to try and aim to get, right? And I mean, if Bethesda are going to push out a big title like that on Nintendo's new system, it shows that kind of confidence, right? And that's just really encouraging.
Indeed, yeah. And I don't know whether, Nvidia have revealed that it is a Tegra chip in there, and it's custom made.
Yeah, and those are serious chips. They're not they're designed specifically for portability and still kicking out power, right? So
yeah.
And we also got confirmation that it's going to support Unreal Engine 4, which is also going to be, it's a powerful engine, right?
It is, yeah. I mean, it's a thirsty engine, but it's a powerful one.
Yeah. So that's the potential is just it's super awesome. It's
mind-boggling, isn't it? I mean, if they can pull this off, and to be honest, if anyone can pull it off, it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have a really good time with this.
Yeah, I think one of the other things that I like as well. I mean, I think it was obviously evident from the trailer, right? Something that we've kind of lost from gaming these days. I mean, I know a lot of people don't mind too much because, online is just so powerful and strong these days, but you still don't get the same feeling playing online as you do sitting next to your friends on a couch, right? And I mean, the ease of portability with this is just going to, hopefully bring it back. I'm not saying people that are going to suddenly say, I'm never going online again, I'm going back to my friend's house. They're not going to do that, but it's at least, the fact that, for example, I have a yearly Smash tournament that I do with my friends, right? It's like an 8-man tournament. I put my Wii U in my bag, I put my Wii U gamepad in, all the cables. It's a real nightmare to carry around. But I mean, now you take the screen, you stand it up, you got your controllers, job done. It's gonna be really good. So I'm that excites me, and because I'd like to see sort of to a certain element some kind of couch gameplay come back, because they're just fun, right? You can't properly trash talk your friends online because you can't see their faces then, right?
Yeah, and you can't cover their eyes when it comes to a hairy corner,
and you can't screen look. Exactly. I mean, screen looking is an important part of my gameplay.
You can try and scream at them, but they can always mute you. They can't do that in real life without getting arrested.
Exactly. Exactly. So a couple of things I wanted to kind of touch on, because obviously right now, I mean, the trailer, I'm super excited, super positive. Everything I've seen, I'm just this is everything I've wanted for a long time. Couple of super important things for me will be online. Obviously, Nintendo's been improving with online, with every single console generation, but it's still, not the greatest system, and it's still a little bit kind of pampered or parental and whatnot. I feel like they need to especially if they're working with so many more developers, right? They just need to kind of take the chains off, so to speak, and just have a nice, simple online system that has a lot of features and is at least kind of comparable, I'd say, with maybe PSN or something. I mean, Xbox Live is definitely the superior online service. I appreciate people are going to be like, how dare you say that, something like that. But
some people are just going to say PC forever.
Okay, yeah, let's put PC to one side for a second. But yeah, Xbox Live is definitely the superior service. But I mean, PSN or even PSN Lite, just something that is not necessarily a kind of typical Nintendo online system, so to speak. I mean, so that's going to be an important thing for me. And also, this is something that I know there have been rumors going around. On Emily Rogers' post, it kind of states that it's not, but until it's confirmed, I'm gonna hold off getting excited about it. But rumor is it's not region locked. So I don't, until that gets confirmed, and I've we've had a past, this happened in the past where it's said that, and then suddenly, it's got nearer to launch, and they're like, nope, it's still region locked. But yeah, in Emily Rogers' post, there was in the whole feature list of what she perceives it's going to be based on, rumor and whatnot. It does list it as being a region-free console. If that happens, that is going to be a game changer.
It really is, yeah. Because it shouldn't be a game changer, but for Nintendo, it would be.
Yeah,
it's about sodding time.
Yeah, what was the last Nintendo? I think it was Nintendo DS, wasn't it? That was region free, or was it?
The DS was region free, definitely, because there was a big hubbub about the DSi because that was region locked. And I know this because I bought Pokemon Diamond from America when it first came out, so I got it a couple of months before everyone else. I thought I would be the kingpin of the playground,
oh, no.
But no, I was just that nerd that got Pokemon early.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No, that's but that coming back is is going to be super important because there are examples. Touching on what we said earlier, like this console is ideal for Monster Hunter, and you look at Monster Hunter's typical release pattern. It comes out in Japan like a year earlier or 6 months earlier, right? Being able to play that in Japanese and not have to buy a second console or buy that it's gonna be really nice, right? So
it is, yeah.
Yeah, and I think if anything, if they ever need to kind of control regions, I think the only thing they should do is kind of adopt a similar system that they have on Xbox One, right? The Xbox One itself is a region-free console, but developers have the ability to region lock games on a game by on a case-by-case basis, so to speak, right? So they could at least do that with certain games. If there were some that they didn't want to go to the West, I don't know, maybe it's like an anime game because of licensing reasons or something, then fair enough, they could potentially region lock it on a game-by-game basis, but just don't have the console itself just outright block anything. So
I could live with that.
Yeah, because I can understand. While some people will be like, well, I don't want anything locked, and I completely agree. It's great if you can buy anything, but I understand. I also, having been in the industry, I kind of understand there are certain situations when that has to happen, and that's fair enough. But just don't just block off all possible, future opportunities with that. But because they're the two big things for me, right? Besides that, I have no concerns, right? The console itself looks quality. I know Nintendo are going to push out some amazing games, provided they can maintain the third-party support. That's the other thing as well. It's one thing to line up third-party support for launch, but whether that then suddenly they release their few launch titles, and then they're like, all right, well that was great, but we're not interested anymore. If they can maintain that, then it's going to be an amazing console.
Well, I think that in the past, one of the big, sort of problems that Nintendo's had with third party, and especially with the Wii U, is, sort of they showed off the early concepts and things like that, and it looks like a great idea on paper, but in practice, we can sort of see why it didn't pan out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
for sure.
I don't see this happening for the Switch. I nearly said NX again.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, sort of, it's, it couldn't possibly happen, because it could still happen, and that would be a tremendous shame. But it just looks like the sort of the gimmick, if you like, comes is sort of almost entirely removed from the games themselves. The games are very sort of straightforward. Here's a controller, you play the game. The gimmick comes from what you can do in terms of the console itself, moving it around, having, some smaller controllers, the Joy-Cons and things like that. But they don't actually impact the game itself. It's not like it's got, a microphone or a screen with, sort of, a billion new colors or something like that. It's very straightforward from what we've spoken to developers as well, and most notably 13AM Games, who made the excellent Runbow, and they said that apparently, no, it wasn't 13AM Games. I'm getting confused. It was Image and Form who made SteamWorld Heist and SteamWorld Dig and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
And they said apparently it's an absolute dream to code for.
That's amazing. See, that is super important. That's just going to be that's going to be removing that barrier means that developers are much more likely to do stuff, which is going to be great. And also to your point as well about the controllers, that is prior to us, seeing the Switch and whatnot, one of the things I said before, and of course also before these rumors started going around when they were just like the speak of Nintendo working on a new console, one of the things I said before was just like, I just want a normal controller, Nintendo. Please just give me something that's like normal. And I mean, someone might obviously pipe up and be like, well, this is hardly normal, but the thing you take from it is exactly what you said. It's not waving your hands around crazy motion control. It's not a microphone. It's not like eye tracking or anything. It's still, fundamentally, it is still a normal controller. You slide the Joy-Cons into that Joy-Con mount, it looks like an Xbox 360 controller. You have the Pro controller, that's great. And even if you hold them apart, they're still basically a normal controller. So it's definitely, while they've got this innovation, I think they've done it right this time, because as you said, there are a lot of things in like the Wii U gamepad, for example, where things are shoehorned in. It's like, touch this on the screen, or do this unnecessary thing that you don't really want to do.
Yeah, you just want to enjoy the game.
Yeah, whereas this is much more like, okay, there are two things we're really strong at. We own the portable space, yes, and we make great first-party games. Let's let people play those games wherever they want. They can sit at home, they can take it on the go. That's good enough innovation. That is great. That is innovation in my mind. That's how you should do it, right? It's not like pointless stuff. It's just, this is what people want. Let's give it to them. It's never been done before. Job done.
It's simple, although some people would argue, the PS Vita did it first, and it's like, well, kind of. It was sort of streaming from your PS4. But anyway.
Yeah. But also PS Vita is still a handheld console. It's still a separate thing, right? I mean, this is also the best thing for Nintendo, because as is evident with when they were trying to juggle DS and Wii and Wii U and 3DS and whatnot, they're obviously struggling to manage both of them because they're obviously not as strong in the home space. So why not just condense all efforts into one and just make one mega system that you can. There's no one's going to be able to take them on in the handheld space now.
No, precisely. I mean, they've been their main, I suppose, rival, if you like, their main competitor, which is a better word, would be the tablet market and things like that. But if you remove those Joy-Cons, and if indeed that is a touchscreen, which I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. They haven't explicitly said it is, although Hearthstone said, Blizzard, sort of alluded to Hearthstone coming to the Switch. If it's not a touchscreen, I would be extremely surprised. And so, you've got a tablet as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You got children saying, "Mummy, I want a tablet and I want this Nintendo console." It's like, well, no, just get the one. It's both.
Yeah, exactly. Have both, exactly, and also it's a tablet that can. Because that's one of the things. Tablet gaming is obviously an up and coming thing, and tablets are getting more and more powerful. But still, at the end of the day, a lot of the time these tablets still don't. Unless you're going to something like a Microsoft Surface, if you're talking to something like an iPad, the gaming experiences are still very much mobile games, right? Whereas this is AAA titles on a tablet, portable, wherever you want, or at home. So yeah,
it's win-win-win.
Oh yes, please don't have it now. 5 months is so long.
Is it really 5 months? Oh god, I suppose it is. No, it's closer to.
It is, yeah.
No, it's 5 months. It's 4 or 5 months. We'll go with that.
Yeah, and that's going to fly by. Because I think the hard part will be the end of the year, because obviously for the next couple of months, I don't imagine they're going to say much. We might have like an occasional, maybe they'll hit on it in like a Nintendo Direct, but I think I've heard that they're not really going to be talking about it until next year. But in the new year, that's when it's going to start ramping up, right? They'll start talking about it a lot. Hopefully, we'll have a chance to go hands-on with it, and oh yes. That's a very good way to end it, I think. Unless you've got any sort of final thoughts about it that you'd like to share with the lovely people who are listening now. No, I think just to kind of echo what I said before, it's literally like, I know I risk sounding like a fanboy saying this, but honestly, it's like everything that I've wanted in a gaming console. Like it's just my handheld, my home consoles, like some of the best games, and I'm excited.
That's good.
It is. It'd be even better if I had it right now.
Exactly. Wouldn't it just? I'd be happy with a dummy unit, just that doesn't work, but just so I can hold it and go, make sort of some squee noises, as some people call it. Anyway, Arekkz, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, of course, to check out Arekkz's channel, Arekkz Gaming, and he's also got another one which is called...
Just Arekkz.
It's just called Arekkz.
Just
so
Arekkz.
You should check that one out as well. Thank you for joining us yet again. And I say us, I mean me. Anyway... completely butchering this last part. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you fawn over some images of the Nintendo Switch for that subscribe button, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.